In the quiet hours of a November morning in 1979, a sheriff's deputy radioed dispatch with a chilling discovery. At the farm store in Ridge Harbor, Florida, lay the body of 25-year-old Adele Easterly, shot twice with a 12-gauge shotgun. What would unfold over the next 45 years is a haunting tale of power, betrayal, and a badge that shielded a killer. The deputy who reported finding her body would turn out to be her killer, and this wouldn't be his only victim. John Greer was a Charlotte County Sheriff's deputy, a position that commanded respect and trust in the community. But beneath his badge lurked something sinister. By 1979, he had already established a pattern of pursuing women while on duty, using his position of authority to gain access to their lives. The small Florida community where he worked was tight-knit, making his actions both more brazen and more concealed by the very nature of small-town politics. The story begins not with Adele Easterly, but with Jackie Greer, the deputy's wife. On August 27, 1979, Greer called the sheriff's office with a report that would become tragically familiar. He had discovered a body. This time, it was his wife who he claimed had died by suicide. Just months later, on November 5, 1979, at around 2 a.m., Greer would make another call. This time he reported finding Adele Easterly's body at the farm store. She had been shot twice, once in the back and once in the head with a 12-gauge shotgun. The killer had taken just $7.34 from the register, an amount so small it would later raise red flags among investigators. Initially, the investigation followed standard procedures. Investigators interviewed Easterly's friends and acquaintances, but something wasn't adding up. Some deputies harbored suspicions about their colleague, but in the tight-knit law enforcement community of the late 1970s, these concerns remained whispered rather than investigated. The case took another dark turn in October 1980 when Greer abruptly resigned from the sheriff's office, just 4 days after another woman connected to him was found dead in her car. Though a suicide note was found, her husband would later tell investigators that Greer had been stalking her, showing up at their house while on duty and attempting to force himself on her. For years, the case remained cold, but investigators never fully let it go. In 1986, a friend of Easterly's finally came forward with crucial information. Adele had been involved with a married Charlotte County deputy and had tried to end the relationship when she discovered he was married. The friend admitted she had been too afraid to come forward earlier. In 2016, cold case investigators made a bold move. They released a statement suggesting law enforcement involvement in the case, hoping to prompt new witnesses to come forward. The strategy worked. A former sheriff's office explorer broke her silence with devastating testimony. Greer had sexually assaulted her and had even spoken about killing Easterly. More chillingly, she had been working dispatch the night of Easterly's murder and saw Greer return with blood on his bare hand. When investigators finally tracked Greer down in 2023, they found him in a Tennessee care facility. Though bedridden and unable to engage in lengthy conversation, he made a stunning admission. He had shot both Adele Easterly and his wife Jackie, but justice would remain incomplete. Greer died on March 2, 2024 at age 77, never having faced a courtroom for his crimes. The case of John Greer stands as a stark reminder of how positions of power can be used to conceal horrific crimes. For 45 years, he walked free, protected by his badge and the silence of those who feared speaking out. While he never faced justice in a courtroom, the truth of his actions finally came to light, bringing some measure of closure to the families of his victims.